Hey everybody, it's Captain Shane. I'm back in the 737. This is Southwest Flight 331 from Albuquerque to Dallas Left Field. I've never been to Left Field before. It should be fun. About an hour and 40-minute flight. We're got some rain here at Albuquerque tonight, which is kind of cool. Wet and contaminated runway. Well, not contaminated. It's wet. On board tonight, 92 passengers, 4,600 pounds cargo, 15.4 on the fuel. Let's look at the weather real quick. So Albuquerque looks like, oh great. Looks like they just changed the departure runways to runway 8. Which I guess is fine. Now we gotta recalculate. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Departure is gonna be from runway 8. Now, that kind of messes up everything, doesn't it? That no longer makes a lot of sense, does it? Hello. Gotta recalculate our takeoff here because the runway shifted, but now our departure doesn't make a lot of sense. Alright, so I don't think this is the best departure for us anymore. So let's find a better one. And we gotta switch the runway over too. So let's go over to runway 8. Let's find a departure that makes more sense here for 8. None of them do. So here's what we're going to do. We're not going to use one. I'm going to get rid of... Nope, I didn't want that either. Alright, let me see if I can delete this. Delete that. Nope. Route. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Legs. And we're just going to delete Albuquerque and fly straight out. No departure. So that changes that. 079. Okay. No departure route. And let's go ahead and recalculate our takeoff performance for runway 8. Alright, same as before. 128, 128, 133, DTO 1. Select temperature 26. Okay. I'm glad we checked that weather. Let's go back to... I kind of got sidetracked by the runway change here. We're just gonna remove the departure entirely and delete Albuquerque. There we go. Okay. So rain. Broken at 9,000 feet, broken at 15, overcast 25, temperature 19, altimeter 3015. 3015. Okay. So taxi takeout departure brief is all different now because we had to switch runways. So we're currently at Albuquerque and we are going to do a very, very quick taxi over to runway 8. We were going to use 26, but that's no longer appropriate, so... over to 8 it is from Alpha 1. Very short taxi. So we'll push tail facing to the east. They have our nose pointed towards Alpha 1. After takeoff, we're going to fly runway heading. And then at 400 feet, we're going to go direct to CNX and NS file. Fix this thing real quick. Okay, cool. Alright, before start pushback checklist, lower MFDs on engine, APU is started. Doors and windows are closed. Yaw damper on. Hydraulic pumps. I'll call the tug.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Parking brake is set, APU Gen 1 and 2. Wheel chocks and age, we can pull that now. Beacon light on. Engine ignition, engine start switches off. APU on. Engine start, we're gonna go ignition right tonight. ACARS.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Why does that sound so loud tonight? ACARS is running. Okay.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
I'm thinking about there will do.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Alright, crew, I think we're ready to go. Alright. Parking brake released.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
It's Mayor, it's hot in here. Alright, starting engine number 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, we can have your attention for just a moment. We'd like to point out the safety features of our Boeing 737-700.
The rotation on 2.
Is in the seat back or literature pocket in front of you. Sit back in your seatbelt, slide the flat
Oil
end
pressure's
into the
good.
buckle.
Fuel on.
Pull the loose strap to tighten. To release, lift up on the buckle. Position your seatbelt tight and lower.
Here we go. Tweedle, let's do it. Fuel flow EGT.
Emergency exits, 2 forward exit
Low pressure
doors,
light out.
2 overwing window exits, and 2 exit doors in the back. Signs overhead and lights on the floor lead to exits. If an evacuation is necessary, follow flight attendant commands to use exits.
Alright, here's start on 2. Starting 1.
1 life raft is located in the forward
Rotation.
fueling compartment, and 2 life rafts are located in the fueling compartment at mid-cabin. In the event of a water evacuation, use the life vest under your seat. Remove the vest only if told to do so. Pull the red strap to open the
Hey,
container
oil
and
pressure's
remove
up.
the pouch.
Fuel on.
Remove the vest from the pouch as shown on the safety information card. Place the vest over your head.
Fuel flow.
Wrap the strap around your waist.
EGT.
Buckle it in the front and pull the tighten. Once outside, pull down on the red patch to inflate the vest. And then with the inflate, slowly to the
Oil pressure lights out.
The vest has a light that turns on automatically in water. Please refer to the safety information card for use of a life vest on the engine. Flight attendants will distribute additional vests if needed. We are coming
Alright,
back
good start on number
your seat back and tray table are
1.
right in lock position.
Have to start
Your
checklist.
carry-on items will be empty under the seat in front of you or in an overhead bin, leaving the area when you can clear. Smoking is not allowed on board, including the lavatory. The use and charging of electronic cigarettes.
Operation complete. Go ahead and set the parking brakes.
Handling with disabling or destroying.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Okay, flaps 1.
It is also prohibited
Step trim 5.25. Takeoff data 125, 127, 134. Transponder. EARA.
Needed. 4 oxygen masks will drop from a compartment overhead. To activate the flow of oxygen, pull down on the mask until the plastic tubing is fully extended. Place the mask over your nose and mouth and breathe normally. Secure the mask with the elastic strap. Although oxygen will be flowing, the plastic bag may not inflate. Continue wearing the mask.
What in the world is going on over here?
If you are traveling with children or anyone needing special assistance, put it on your mask first.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
What is he
Please
doing?
report any unwelcome behavior to a flight attendant. Thank you for your
You good,
attention.
company?
Now
What
sit
the
back,
heck?
relax, and enjoy your 1 hour and 45 minute flight down.
Wow.
Welcome aboard.
Okay, anyway. Alright, lower MFD system. Exit clearance. There's nobody here. Taxi takeoff departure brief updated for runway 8. No departure procedure. We're going to fly runway hitting, and then at 400 feet we'll start our turn direct to our first waypoint. Alright, I think we're ready. Make sure I have my chart up here. Nozzle steering. Brakes. Very short taxi now. Alright, flight controls are checked. Up comes quick. Okay. VNav, LNav. Oh, okay. We'll go ahead and select. ICAS is good. Exterior lights. Radar. Star switches. Okay, arrival end is clear, departure end is clear. Let's take the runway. Very short taxi. I know, I was hoping I could get a little Southwest taxi action going here, but unfortunately not. Alright, we'll do it in Dallas. How's that? Okay, the wind is 130 at 9, so we'll add a little bit of right crosswind correction in for the takeoff roll. And I'm going to say we're clear for takeoff. Start the clock. Turn this off real quick. All right, let's go ahead and run them up. All right, it's going to be almost a max power takeoff here due to our high altitude. Engine stabilized at takeoff thrust. Hold on tight. Toga, N1. Hey, Achilles. Oh yeah, good crosswind there from the right.
80 knots.
About to hold. Left rudder in. Oh, okay. I know V speeds.
Positive rate. Gear up. How's it going?
Oh, altitude.
1,000.
All right. LNAV. I think my V speeds got deleted there. V checks, flaps up. 10,000 feet, autopilot on. Yeah, I think my V speeds got deleted there during the takeoff. Or I think when I switched over runways from 26 to 8, it deleted them and I forgot to put them back in. I remember what they were, those.
Ladies and gentlemen, use of all portable
Whoa,
electronic devices.
what's
is
going on
now
here?
permitted in airplane mode with dozens of functions turned off. In a few moments, we will be coming through to take your drink order. We will be serving complimentary soft drinks.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. That's not right.
And legal hours
Why are we descending?
Or with a valid drink coupon. There is a beverage menu in your seat.
Yeah, that was bizarre.
You may go to the Southwest beverage menu on the in-flight entertainment portal southwestwifi.com where these options are displayed. Please be mindful of the flight attendant serving you in the aisle and remain seated while the passengers.
This thing is not behaving tonight.
We have lavatories in the front and back of the aircraft.
Alright, N1.
Sign on the disc indicates one of the lavatories.
Alright, let's see if I can figure out what's going on with this thing.
On the line is the forward lavatory. The safety of all secure number one priority. Please don't hesitate to let us know if you have others.
VNAV speed, N1. Wow, this autopilot is not behaving tonight. That was bizarre. Alright, here we go. I think we got it. I think we got it working again. I need to write that up. That was weird. We got a pretty decent cell in front of us, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to fly a little deviation to the left, and we'll intercept that course and cut the corner on that anyway. So let's go ahead and select the 100. Thanks, Samantha. I'm not up to a great start tonight. I'll get it working. Come back another 10 feet. I can't wait for that too. It's gonna be really good. Oh, I don't need these windshield wipers on anymore. After takeoff checklist. 90 gear up. Lights out. Flaps 0. Auto brakes off. Exterior lights. Start switches off. And altimeters standard. Thanks, Tweedle. That's true, Achilles, but normally I don't have issues with the level up autopilot, but it was acting very strange tonight. And that's going to happen from time to time. The key thing is to recognize when it's not behaving. All right, 19,000 cross check. The key thing is to recognize when it's not behaving and disconnect it and sort it out after that, which is what we did. It's really rare that that happens. Through flight level 200 for 370. Northwest 250 for 37. I think we can just go ahead and go direct to Texaco at this point. I believe that's what we're doing anyway. Yeah, we'll just go. I'm gonna go back to LNAV. Hey, 290. Hey, 310. Oh, look at this thing. What is it doing? Man, this autopilot has lost its mind tonight. Why are we in a left bank? Alright, tell you what. This is what we're gonna do. Heading select. I'm gonna fly it direct to this waypoint. Hopefully it gets its mind right here, because this is really bizarre behavior tonight. Like, it's in a left bank when it should be heading direct to TXO. This is really strange. Alright, we'll fly heading select until we get back to that waypoint, and then hopefully this thing starts to work again. This is really weird. I've never had this kind of trouble with level up autopilot before. I'm gonna have to write this stuff up in the tech book, in the aircraft logbook. There's all kinds of issues tonight with autopilot.
1,000 to go.
Alright, leveling off at 370. Okay, well, we're cruising now. Hopefully we can get the our lateral navigation start working again, because it was not working. So we'll fly direct to TXO, and then hopefully LNAV will pick up again from here, and we can go off a heading select back to LNAV. I don't know. Strange.
flight deck. We have reached our cruising altitude of 37,000 feet. We are expecting a smooth ride and will turn off the seatbelt sign when it is safe to do so.
Alright, so it looks like we may run into some pretty bad weather
Sit back and enjoy the flight.
on the backside of Texaco VOR. So I'll probably turn on the fasten seatbelt sign as we pass this in anticipation of running into this stuff, because there's some pretty decent stuff going on here. It might be difficult to pick our way through this. We'll see how this develops as we get closer to it. you what I'm going to do. This might be a fun exercise. Let me try to get this lateral navigation pointer back into the center. Then I'll turn on LNAV again and see if it tracks after that. Let's do that. Let's come right a little bit and see what it does. Well, let's see what this thing does. Alright, it's coming in now. Once we get it almost touching center, I'm going to re-engage LNAV and see if it tracks us. Alright, let's engage LNAV again, see if it'll track. Okay, there's our lateral navigation. It's going to add in a little bit of crosswind correction here because of this 22 knot crosswind we're dealing with. But I want to see it go wings level here, kind of quick. reason that it's having to fly so much to the left is this crosswind from the left here. I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're back on LNAV now. Okay, good. Weather looks good out ahead. It seems to be in contradiction to what Navigraph is showing us. We'll see. 24 minutes till top of descent. We'll start briefing in about 15 minutes. So we have a minute though. So arrival gate 16. Let's take a look at what that looks like. I've never been to Dallas left field before, so I don't really know what that is. Taxi. I don't know what gate that is. Oh, here it is. Duh. Okay. So parking is at 16. That's going to be 1, 2, 3. No. 1, 2 from there. But that's going to be 16. That guy right there. Okay, that makes sense. And then we'll be arriving on 1-3 right. Visual approach 1-3 right. Well, I think the RNAV Yankee 1-3 right approach will be fine. Yeah, we'll use that. Okay, let's recalculate for that, since we have some time here. There we go. quiet out here tonight, isn't it? Ooh, I like that. Alright, I think we're close enough. We can go ahead and brief this up. Alright, let's grab some landing data from ACARS. Alright. So 1-3 left. That's not accurate. Let's go 1-3 right. That's what we're landing on. Recalculate. Okay. Outside air temperature is 31. The wind is 157 at 9. Altimeter 299 or 8. ERF 127. Approach speed 132. I think we'll use auto brakes 2. Auto brakes 2. So flaps 30. 127. Auto brakes 2. Alright, now let's go ahead and pull up some charts. We're on the J-Fire 5 RNAV arrival. So it looks like we're going to cross Zorda at 280 knots between 300 and 240. Greg's 11,250. And then from Fire, we're going to go direct to Benet, which is part of the RNAV Yankee runway 13 right approach. So at Benet, we need to be down to 2,300 feet, keeping it coming down to 2,000 at Camso, where we're going to pick up a 2.96 degree glide path down to the runway threshold, and 0.7 nautical miles from the airport is more or less where our decision altitude is going to be at. Oh, this is an offset. Okay, so this doesn't get us all the okay. This doesn't get us all the way onto the runway. It gets us close. If you look at this path here, and the reason being is we have an obstruction here in the way. This tower is kind of in the way of these things, so they bring us around it, and we have to fly an offset and then correct at the last minute at death speed. Okay. At death speed, we make that left-hand turn. Interesting. Okay. MSA is 3,600 feet. The decision altitude is 920. RVR 1 3/4 visibility, and that's because, again, this radio tower is obstructing the view, or it's a. If you get too low, you'll run into that thing. So we have to offset from that. This approach climbing to 5,000 feet direct Ecoto and on track 112 to Dumpy and hold. Straight out. Runway elevation 480. Okay, if I have an approach briefing is performed. Decision altitude 920. Landing altitude is to be 500 feet. seatbelt sign. Let's go ahead and get those on now. Weather check at Dallas. Information Mike is current. Wind 160 at 9, so a little bit to the right of center line. In central mile visibility, temperature's 31, a little warm. Altimeter 299 or 8. Visual approach 13 right is in use, and runway 13 left is closed. Okay, just waiting on top of the descent, coming up in a minute. Alright, FMC, we'll set our altitude down to the MSA. Oh, wrong one. Altitude down to MSA 3,600 feet. Okay, throttle's idle.
flight deck and started our initial descent. We expect to be on the ground in about 20 minutes or so. Thank you for flying Southwest Airlines.
Let me get the CTEC frequency. To 3.7. So unless I'm misreading this, we are extremely high. We are way high. I don't know how that happened, but let's go ahead and get some speed brakes out and see if we can get down a little bit faster. Hey, there's one aircraft on the ground there. Yeah, it looks like one that's coming in. Other than that, not a lot of traffic at Dallas right now. Yeah, we're still quite a bit high. We'll see if we can get it in on time. I don't know. Okay, 1,500 feet high. We're coming in. We might make it. Yeah, altimeters 29908. Start switches. Alright, I think we're back on profile. Speed brakes for track. VNAV path.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we make our final descent to DAL, please stow laptop computers and similarly sized electronic devices. Small portable electronic devices may continue to be used in airplane mode but must be secured for the remainder of the flight. Please ensure all carry-on items are completely under the seat in front of you or in an overhead bin, leaving the area around your seat clear. Please raise your seat back and tray tables in full upright and locked position and fasten your seatbelt. We will come by one last time to pick up cups, cans, newspapers, and any other trash. Thank you.
Alright, crew. Looking good. I think we'll make Greg at 11,250 knots. Okay, decel. FMC speed. Okay, you got it. I'm gonna give you a good landing. Okay, here's what we're gonna do to save some time. We're gonna go direct to that initial point there. We're gonna go direct there, and we're gonna save about 5 minutes of extra flying. Coming right. You're gonna feel it all right, Samantha. Hey, you're getting a little bit of rain here, which is odd because there's no clouds. Okay, throttle's idle. Go ahead and tune CTAP. Decel. Airport in sight. No, I'm sorry. That's Fort Worth. That's not the airport. This is Dallas Fort Worth over here. I've been to this airport many times, and then Alliance is over here to the right, right there. I've been here as well with Prime Air, but I've never been to Love Field, which is over here. It's crazy how close these airports are together. You have Alliance, Dallas Fort Worth, and then Dallas Love Field, all within like 20 miles of each other. Up, airport in sight, straight ahead. And we'll be landing on 13 right over here. You know something, I just realized that direct that we did probably was not great because we just cut right in front of the approach paths for these airports at Fort Worth. I don't think ATC would have ever given us this kind of a clearance because now we're completely obstructing the arrivals and departures out of Dallas, Fort Worth. We should have gone around and come back in for Love Field, but oops. That's what I get for not really having good situational awareness about where I'm at or what I'm doing. The airports are so close together that you just kind of forget about that.
Thousand to go.
Alright, we can keep it going down. Okay. Decelerating. Alright, speed checks platform. Flaps 5. Get on flaps 15. Autopilot. Flaps 30. Auto throttle. Okay, landing gear, before landing checklist, landing gear down, 3 green. Roller handles armed, auto brakes 2. Flaps 30, altimeters cross-checked. Dallas traffic. Southwest 331 on final runway 13 right.
plus 100. $500. Minimums.
Continue.
$100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5.
knots.
Manual braking.
On behalf of this flight crew and Southwest Airlines, welcome to Dallas. Please remain seated with your seatbelts fastened, seat back and tray table in their full upright and locked position, and all carry-on items completely under the seat in front of you. When the captain turns off the fasten seatbelt
Welcome to
sign,
Love
please be
Field.
careful when opening these
Yeah, it's not
overhead
bad.
bins. Items may have shifted during flight and could fall out. You may now use the cellular function of your small portable electronic devices, but please remain seated and leave your carry-on stowed. Please be advised
All
that
right.
aircraft doors will
At the
be
landing
open to
checklist,
ground
four-wheel handle up.
For your safety, please ensure that you
Flaps,
and any children
auto
you are
brakes.
supervising remain clear of the front and back doors.
Radar,
Before connecting here to another Southwest
landing light,
flight, please check the
strobe,
monitors and
runway
turn
turn
off
off.
for your flight and gate number. We certainly have enjoyed sharing part of our day with you.
engine start
We know you have a
switches,
choice when you fly, and we
APU.
thank you for choosing Southwest Airlines.
damp trim. Alright, after the landing checklist complete, let's see where the heck we're at so we can taxi. Nope, that's Albuquerque. Wrong base. Alright, short taxi here. So we're at Charlie 4, make a left turn onto Charlie. Gonna follow it onto Delta, and then come back around for this gate here, gate 16. That should be it right there. Yep, 16. Look at that.
South traffic. That was level 4, downwind for Arnhem with.
Alright, let's shut her down. And APU up. There we are, guys. Welcome to Dallas Left Field. And we are already in the process of unloading passengers. There we go. Oh, this was fun. I enjoyed it. New airport for me to land at, and this is a good one for Southwest because Dallas Love Field is one of their big ones. So glad I'm here tomorrow or the next day. Probably not tomorrow. My daughter's got soccer practice. It's gonna go pretty late, so I probably won't fly tomorrow night. But Thursday, we got to continue on towards the East Coast. So we're going to look at some options out of left field here to see what gets us closer to East Coast. I had thought about flying up to Midway, but that's kind of going north when I should be going east. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But for now, let's get these passengers unloaded. And I'm going to go ahead and check real quick what our landing rate was per ACARS. Indicated airspeed exceeded 270 knots below 9,900. Did it? I don't think so. I don't agree with this. I don't think it did. I don't think it did.
Slow traffic. Level 4.
We had that thing slowed down. Yeah, I don't agree with this at all. I'm gonna need to talk to my bosses about this one. I don't think hey, did I exceed 270 knots below 10,000 feet? I sure don't recall doing that. I would have noticed that. We were decelling before then. Yeah, that ain't right. There's something wrong with that. So I'm gonna take that up with my bosses over at Southwest. I was very adamant that I did not go that fast on the descent. Landing rate 176. Fair. Yeah, well, I'll take this up with my bosses. I don't agree with that. So, anyway,